Where's my darn yarn?
Hi everyone and welcome to episode 34 of the TheDyepod. My name is Petra.
And my name is Robert.
And we come to you from Eksjö in Sweden, where we run our yarn dyeing business, Fru Valborg. And you can find us on Instagram at Fru Valborg and www.fruvalborg.se on the internet.
That's right.
So welcome! And welcome, Robert.
Thank you. Have you been growing?
Yes, I have. You look like someone smacked you in the head.
Yeah.
And your neck disappeared.
Yeah, it's this wonderful shawl.
But you're really short.
Yeah, and you look like you've been pulled like this.
Oh, yes.
But that's
Robert is really tall, I should say. You're like 193.
Yes, and you are really, really small, more like 143.
No, I'm also kind of tall.
Yeah.
But compared to you, I'm not that tall, but I'm 120. No.
125.
172.
Yes.
Maybe. Yes. Yeah, so.
That's right.
Okay.
Two tall people.
Yes.
It has now, I think it's pretty good on time this time actually. We don't remember if it's 3 weeks exactly, but I think it's more or less.
Yeah, something like that.
So we are doing our part. What have you been doing the last 3 weeks, my Petra?
Well...
Or what has happened?
What has happened?
Yes.
You went to a fishing trip actually. Not this... last weekend.
Yes.
It was, I think. Maybe two weekends.
It was 2 weekends ago.
Yeah. You and a friend?
Yeah. I can tell.
Yes.
Me and my friend Antonio, we went fishing. So we took his car, and he has a really, really small trailer. So it's pretty much like a bed on wheels. Very nice. He just bought it, and he wanted to take it for a spin. So we signed up for this kind of fishing competition on the north side of Öland, which is an island on the coast of Sweden, the east coast of Sweden. And then we drove to the far north of that island, and he's been there many times before, so he knows all the forest roads and so on. So he found one of those forest roads, and he drove all the way up to the beach, and then we parked his little trailer there. We lit a little bonfire, and we had some hot dogs and a beer. And then we went to sleep, and then the next morning it was like waking up inside of a postcard. You just saw the sun come up, and we were like, 30 meters from the beach.
It's really beautiful on Öland.
Yeah.
Where you were. Mm.
And then we fished for 12 hours without getting as much as a nibble. Nothing at all. But then after 12 hours he got a fish.
Yeah.
Which was quite big actually. It was 3.2 kilos sea trout, which is a pretty decent size sea trout. Mm. And I think it was like 76 centimeters or something like that. So we took it up, and then we killed it, and I filleted it, and then we had wonderful fish burgers for dinner. So it was great, and he got the biggest fish in the competition. So then we thought now he will win the prize, but apparently they were just picking like a lottery on who won the prizes. So instead I won the prize, and I won a cheese.
Yes, you did, but you haven't got it.
No, I have not got my cheese yet, but hopefully soon there will be a nice cheese waiting for me.
Yeah, that will be fine.
Yeah. And I got
we like cheese.
We do. I got a fish too,
I know.
But
was it just as big?
It was almost as big. So his was 3.2 kilos, and I think mine was 0.3 kilos.
Almost, yeah.
It's just one number difference.
Sure.
But so it was still a fish.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's fun when something happened, maybe.
Absolutely.
If you have been fishing for like 2 hours, 2 days in a row.
Yes.
And nothing happens.
So that was a good weekend. We also went swimming, and it was only him and I on that beach, so we were naked. And
skinny dipping?
Yeah, we were skinny dipping. But then when we came up from the water, we both realized that we did not have any towel. And we were standing there, freezing, like, how do we get dry now? And then I think it was Antonio who said, maybe if we run around. So then you had two 40-plus men running around butt naked on the beach of Öland trying to get dry. And I don't think anyone saw us. I hope no one saw us.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
Some lucky people might have seen you.
Yeah, some people at least. Not sure how lucky they would be.
Yeah.
So that happened.
That's nice.
Yep. You also tried, or we tried, a new sport, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We tried out paddle, which has, in Sweden at least, I don't know if it's all around the world, it feels like it, paddle has grown like crazy. It's like every people plays paddle. And I don't know why it has become like this, but maybe it's a good thing. People, something new in the pandemic where you can do something also, but it's like crazy. Everybody talks about paddle, and it's you can read about paddle everywhere, and it starts new, these buildings with paddles. So it's kind of crazy, I think. I have never tried it, but last weekend, after Robert has been on the fishing tour, we invited a friend couple that we have told you about before. We do some challenges, and then we eat good food and things like that. So we challenged them on paddle this time. And I thought it was really fun.
Yeah. It was.
It's like a small tennis square or something like that.
Tennis court.
Tennis court. So yeah, it was fun. I think it was.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, it was not that if you like tennis, you have to run like crazy, and it's a little difficult. It's easy to miss the ball, something like that. But this was just you can the. I think it. What do you say when they får studsa bollen?
Bounce.
Okay, so the ball can bounce maybe once, and then you can hit it anyway. It's not like the ball is dead when it has made one bounce. I can't describe it.
I must say, Petra, that you have a very impressive return.
How do you mean now?
I mean, when we played, if they hit a really hard ball, you have the ability to kind of return it, and it almost always hit their side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Because you need to dampen their shot, right? So if they hit it hard, you need to kind of ease it up, and you were very good at that.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. I think that was why we won. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it might have been therefore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So another win for us. I wonder what's next.
Yeah, we have to decide.
Any ideas?
I don't know. We talked about golf one more time because we really thought that was fun last time.
Yeah.
There are this short golf.
Pay and play.
Yeah, and you don't need the green card or something like that, so you can be how lousy as ever, and that was really fun. I hit the forest many times.
Yeah, so did I.
But it was really, I think we really lost them, but it was really fun. So I would like to do that again. Now it starts to get spring here as well, so it's nice to be outside for a few hours.
Definitely.
So,
Okay, so that we did. What more did we do?
Well, we met some friends yesterday on an after work, but on a Saturday, so that was nice.
Yes.
Another couple, and otherwise we have been working like usual.
And we have been in the nature as well. Yesterday, doing some barbecue.
Yeah, we did. That was nice. We have many places in Eksjö where it's really nice to go because there is a lot of lakes and nature around Eksjö. just 5 minutes from our house or so. So, but this is a really nice place, and I think it's like this. I don't, maybe not company, but nature.
It's like an organization for
the nature
outdoor.
organization that owns this place, and everyone can go there. And it's they have a sauna there that you can rent, and it's really nice. And some barbecue places, and by the lake, and it's really really nice. And there are not so many people there, so we can mostly release Loke, and he can run like a crazy person everywhere and take baths because he likes to take a bath. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really nice weather yesterday. Kind of a cold still, but it was sunny and beautiful.
And the question that everybody now has on their mind, Petra, is what did you think of the jalapeno and cheese hot dog?
I liked it.
It's good, huh?
Yeah.
It's really good. I like a good hot dog.
Yeah, me too. Many times anyway, at least when we are barbecuing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think you are very fond of sausages. I think you could eat sausage every day.
But it has like an endless variation. It's not one thing, it's like 100 things.
Yeah.
It's good. So I'm probably a little bit more enthused in the sausage than you are.
Probably.
But anyway.
I like it anyway.
You do.
From time to time.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
For sure. All right. So that's what happened then. Nothing more.
No.
Did you take a bath?
No.
Still pending?
Yes. And that is really lousy of me, I know. Because I think it's many, many, many years since I didn't take an April bath. At least. So I have a few days left. I will be a little ashamed not taking an April bath.
You know, even your mother has taken a bath.
But that's not even, because she's really good at taking baths.
Yeah.
So.
Is it still a touchy subject?
No, more that I will be ashamed if I haven't taken a bath next time we podcast.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a nice day today, you know?
I think it's more sensitive for you because you really want me to take a bath.
Yes, I do.
It's a hang up.
No.
But yeah, maybe I have taken one next time.
Yep.
So.
Then we move over to some knitting, perhaps.
Yeah, in the company I had a sale.
Yes, that you need to say.
And that was really fun. I had a lot of. I have so much new yarns coming in that I felt I have to like clean the shelves a bit to be able to bring in all the new stuff. And so I had a sale with a lot of stuff, and you guys bought like crazy. Maybe not you, I don't know, but a lot of people bought like crazy, which was really fun. So the shelves are truly empty now and ready for new stuff to get in there. And we decided to, both from the charity pins of course, and some pouches and things that I had, and also a percentage of the sale that will go out to Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
So that will be done as soon as the sale is finished as well, which feels good. And since you bought a lot, there will be some money to send over to them, which feels great. I think it's really now, just as any time, it's really necessary. I think there's so much happening all around the world with all this stuff, and that's really horrible, I think. And you read about all the things that happens in the US with a lot of horrible things, but that's of course not the only country. It's just the same here and in everybody else's country, and everything that happens at the moment, I think, or has happened like for how long ever in the history. And it's just a shame that this is still a thing, but it truly is, and so that feels really good.
Yeah. Did you hear about the sentence, the big day last week?
The sentence?
Yeah. There's been, the George Floyd case.
Yeah, of course.
So he was now found guilty.
Yeah,
The
and that
policeman.
was on all the things.
Charges.
on all the charges. That's the thing in English. Yeah. So that was.
It's an important thing.
Yeah, but of course, somehow you just felt that has to be necessary. It would be kind of, if it wouldn't have been that would have been crazy. But we are really happy that turned out that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's so much to be done, and so much to support and learn about and everything, and I hope everybody tries to read about all this and be as active as they can and everything like that, because it's really horrible. There are no words. I don't have any words for it. It's just horrible.
Yeah, for sure, and it's so many different problems, I think, as well. So I guess pick your area. Doesn't really matter if you work with the race question or gender, or there are so many. So I guess pick one or pick more and then get engaged.
Yeah, just trying to be a good person.
Yeah, when I grew up, there was a children's book. I don't know what it's called in Swedish, but in Norwegian it was called Kardemommeby. And there was this fictive world, this city, and they had a police officer, and the police officer they had only one law in this city, and it was you should not be stupid to others, you should be nice and kind, and apart from that you can do whatever you want. And it's a nice law. It sounds better in Swedish or Norwegian, of course, but it's actually, I think, quite true. That as long as you're a good person, then you can do your stuff. You can live your life the way you want to live your life. It's no one else's. Shouldn't have an opinion about that, as long as you are a good person and do not harm anyone else.
No.
And I think that's a good rule to live by, if you can.
Absolutely, it's a really good rule. Absolutely, and of course, not everybody though has that opportunity to live as you want to. So it's really good try to help as much as you can or something. So so maybe everyone someday could get the opportunities that they deserve.
Definitely.
Yeah, we think this is really important anyway. I don't know, we don't talk about this every time, but it's really important. It's always something that happens in the world, that it's a constant subject that has to be talked about always. So with your children or neighbors or wherever you think it's necessary, or if you see something that is not appropriate or whatever. So yeah, it's it's really important.
Absolutely. And speak up. We had without going into details, but there was an incident at our children's school last week, which was, you could say, someone was saying something unacceptable, and one of our daughters, she actually stood up. So she told us, and then we told the teacher, who didn't know about it, and then it led to at least that this became aware. They became aware in the school, and they could talk about it. But of course, saying that, being that person who stands up and says this is not okay, is not easy.
No.
It's still necessary, though.
Yeah, it's really necessary, and it's really we talk a lot about this with our children, and we think it's really important that they know what's right and what's wrong, and being able to stand up for. It doesn't have to be a close friend. It can be just anybody if you hear something or. Yeah. So, anyway.
Important stuff.
Anyway, I will of course share when we have counted everything and the money will go out and so on, just for accountability. But anyway, we could talk about this a lot, but I think we can move on to something else.
Yes, we can, and we can move on to some knitting perhaps, because I can see, I can spy with my little eye that you are wearing something that is not only beautiful, but also very fresh off the needles.
Yes, and really sweaty, I thought you would say.
And sweaty. So what are you wearing?
I'm just doing this because I want to show. Okay, so I have not been I have been knitting, of course, since you see this, and I didn't show this last time. But I have been very, very monogamous in the knitting, I think. I stick to one knitting project, and that's this one. And this is the tulip sweater. And I really like it. It's not blocked or something. I just wove in the ends last night, so I have not done anything else with it. But when you knit with these woolly yarns with mohair, I think you almost don't have to block it, I feel. Maybe just to give this a little, I would have a little more space here maybe, so I might do a little blocking here. Because it's really, really warm, but anyway, it's knitted in the BFL Masam, I think you say Masam. That still is not in the shop, but it's in boxes in my yarn room, so it will be dyed up soon. It's a DK weight BFL Masam, a 2-ply, and I used 1 strand of mohair along with it, so it's a sweater really good for winter, and not for now actually, but I just wanted to show it because I was really happy with it. So I made the cropped version. I didn't do any modifications, I think. I think I knitted the 3rd size of the pattern, and just the recommended needle sizes and things, and I wanted the cropped one, and I actually did it finished, but when I took it on, I'm just, it's a little too short. I have bound off this tulip pattern and everything, and I'm just, no, I think it was like here. Yeah.
And you asked me, and I was so nervous because you're like, is this how does this look? I think that was your question. How does this look? And I was thinking, well, actually it looks a little short, but I didn't know if I dared to say it. But I think I said it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and I was like, and then you said, yeah, I agree. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
so then you had to do it again.
I had to do it again.
Yeah.
So I ripped out the entire part, just brought the stitches on the needle and frogged it all, and knitted it maybe, I think the pattern says like 12 centimeters from the underarm to until you will start the ribbing. And I think I did 15 centimeters on the first version. And this is also longer than the pattern says, so I think maybe 2 or 3 centimeters extra. And it turned out a little short anyway. Maybe it's because I'm tall, I don't know, and maybe the design is a little shorter, I don't know.
Maybe you have a long torso.
I might have long torso. I don't think I have one long torso, but I might have anyway. So anyway, I think I extended it even 5 centimeters even more or something like that. So now it's really exactly to the waist, I think. Which I think it's perfect, because it will be really nice for a dress or something. I have a lot of dresses that have this, like the shape of around the waist or something like that. So it will be really nice. And I used this colorway. It's a new colorway on the untreated yarn bases that I have been dyeing. So this is the BFL Gotland, even though I used the BFL Masam. And then I took a dark mohair along with it. So I took a dark brown for it as well, which I think is really nice because it gives a mold effect and a little depth to the material. It comes more alive, I think, when you combine like two different nuances on the mohair and the base yarn. I really like that. You could also like use maybe a brighter color or something, just to give that a little alive feeling to the material.
And sitting in the same room as you now, I must say it really emphasizes what you're saying, because if you look at this, at least if you're sitting here, I don't know how it looks on the screen, it doesn't look really like your sweater.
No.
But when you put those together, you get the effect that you're explaining. So the visual appearance of that sweater is not this color.
No.
It is really a mix of the two.
Yeah.
And
I really like that. It can, of course, if you like a solid color, that's also really beautiful. But I think it adds a little adds a little interest to the garment, I think. So I'm really happy about it.
Yeah.
And I think I really love the model. I could knit more in different colorways. Maybe different materials and things, bases, yarn bases and so on. I really like it.
Do you think you will be wearing it throughout the entire pod?
I'm really hot now, so I don't know. Maybe, or maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I brought a t-shirt just to be able to switch if I had to. If it starts pouring down my face, I have to switch it. But so anyway, and while I have this, I think maybe I could talk about this.
What a segue! Wow!
Yes. I really have been wanting for a long time some ready-to-ship mohair in my shop, and we have talked about this a long time. If we should add it.
Yeah.
And
what has those discussions been like?
I really want some mohair, Robert. Well, buy some. Well, I can't decide what. I can't decide what. It's too expensive. It's like been like that for maybe half a year or something. Anyway, I finally decided. So I brought in, I think I have 30 colors, and I choose the ones that I thought would look really good with my hand-dyed skeins. So I tried to really choose colors on the mohair that would fit with my different yarns and so on. So you can see like this, I think it makes a perfect match. So a lot of browns, teals, heather pinks and things that I really love. And I think it's really fun to have. I also dye on mohair, but since I have a lot of yarn bases and always bring in new ones, there's not always time to dye all the bases up all the time. But since I love mohair and almost adds it to all the projects I knit, I think it's fun to have them available all the time. Also, if you'd like to buy yarn for a project like this or so, I could also recommend what I think would be nice for it and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy. It's Lang Yarns. And I met him, Kim. He was here visiting me, or has been a few times. Because he also sells yarn bases and things like that. So yeah, I decided for that because it's a really beautiful quality on this mohair and silk.
How much is on each skein?
175 meters, so it's a little shorter than the one I dye on. But it gives it's a really beautiful base, I think. It's a really beautiful mohair. And and I have a lot of bases that's like 350 or 360 meters on one skein. So then like 2 would be enough for one skein.
Yeah.
Because these are on 25 grams and the one I dye are on 50 grams. So then you of course only need one, but the most that you buy like this, industrial dyed, so to say, they are on 25 grams. So yeah.
Right, and
So
they are already in the shop?
No, they are not. I just prepared it this Friday, and along with the BFL Gotland, that will be out there as well. So I think maybe tonight they will be out, and then it means they are already out when you watch this. So, and if you need suggestions or to combine with, I would love to give some recommendations, and then you can send an email, of course, or something, or on my Instagram,
or
something.
a fax.
Or a fax. I don't have a fax, so that will be difficult.
Yeah.
I can show some more of the BFL because I really like the colorways, but we was on the knitting now.
Exactly.
And we might be done with this.
Yeah, we are. Anything more you have been knitting?
Just a tiny more. The socks are done.
Mm-hmm. So no second sock syndrome?
No, I just cast it on the other one immediately, so no second sock syndrome.
Good.
And I started a new pair as well, kind of, since I made myself a basket of all my leftover sock yarns, so I can just pick out the colors that I like together.
Smart.
So I just casted on another pair of, of stripy socks. Can you... So these are also my merino sock base. And it is peach quartz and terra and ash. Mm-hmm. So I think I will knit just like these. The toe will be black, and then only these stripes in the sock otherwise. So an ash for the cuff and the toe. I think they will be really beautiful.
And these are just your made up pattern, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, that's true. I always, since socks to me are a project that I really want to knit without a pattern, because it's like in the car or whatever, I don't want a pattern to look at. I always knit them the same, unless of course I sometimes knit the pattern, but otherwise I always make the same. I cast on 64 stitches on a 2.25mm needle, and sometimes I do this 2x2 rib. I really like this. Or yeah, and then just if you have a variegated skein with the speckles and things, it's beautiful just to knit maybe with one color or two. But I really like this one when you have the solid colorways and you get these lovely stripes. And for the heel, because somebody asked about the heel, I knitted on half of the stitches, of course. I think most simple heels are like that. And since you can see here how it looks, you can see these little bumps here. I knit the first 3 and last 3 stitches. I knit them knitwise, both on the wrong and the right side. So 3 knit stitches on every side. So that's what I start with. And then for the other, I slip one, knit one, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, until I do the last 3 knits. And then on the wrong side, I purl, knit 3 and purl all the stitches. And then knit 3 at the end.
That made perfect sense to me.
I think it will make sense for most people otherwise. But, and then I always do 18 slip stitch rows, so that means like 36 rows, 18 times 2.
Yeah.
That would be, so 33 rows, 36 rows. And then I start this short rows here.
What do you like most then, the flap or the gusset?
I like them both.
I like the gusset best.
Okay. Why? To knit?
Not to say.
To say, yeah. You like the gusset.
I like saying the gusset.
The word. Yeah, okay,
the gusset. Give me some gusset. Where is the gusset anyway? Can you point to the gusset?
I would say this one. This is a gusset, where the short rows are.
Uh-huh.
But this might be wrong, because we had... Someone actually educated me on this before.
Yeah.
Because what is a heel? Is this a heel, a flap and a gusset, or heel flap? Heel flap is one word. I'm a lousy knitter. I don't. Okay. Anyway, it's a heel.
Yeah.
It turns out to be a heel when I'm done.
Yeah.
Which is. There are so many words on all these different heels and toes and everything that I just. Well, I close my ears because I just want to knit a heel that fits me. And this, I must say, I think this heel actually is from a pattern by Melody Hoffman, Into the Woods, because I knitted them several times. That's a pattern that I love because it's almost like this, just a few little like trees or something.
Okay.
So if you have that pattern or want to buy a pattern for a perfect basic sock, I could recommend Into the Woods sock, because I think this is the heel that she uses in that pattern, and that might be why I knit this all the time, because I knitted them several times and then I learned them in my head, so I don't have to think. So I'm almost sure they might come from her pattern.
Okay.
Yeah. You also wanted tips of socks, but you see, I'm not a good person
Into
to ask
the Woods
for
is a good
advice.
tips.
Into the Woods is a really good tip, but you asked for patterns for mini skeins, and this is what I knit with mini skeins. I think when you knit like this striped pattern, I find it really nice with just this stock and stitch, because otherwise maybe the pattern would disappear, like a lace pattern would disappear in a sock or something. So to me, I really love a basic, just to show off the colors and make. You could also knit like a small and a thick and everything stripes. Just play with the stripes, or I don't know, make the heel in another colorway or so. But I don't have any. I know there, like Andrea Mowry made a pattern. What?
Nothing.
What?
I'm just enjoying myself.
Okay. Andrea Mowry knitted a pattern, or designed a pattern that's a fluorite sock, and then she used mini skeins that fades into each other.
Yeah.
There's something you're laughing about.
No, it's just like I like being on kind of a walk through your brain when you go from one pattern to another. It's nice.
Okay. Okay, anyway, so that might be a suggestion, the fluorite socks. I also know someone mentioned something about aquarelle socks, which might be kind of the same, with mini skeins fading into each other. But please feel free, because I know you might have a lot of much better ideas than me. So if you write them below, someone else you can share it with someone else. And if you love to knit socks, I really would like to recommend Earth Tones Girl, who is an American, and she has this YouTube channel where she is like 120% into socks. She tries all, and it's like an education channel for socks, I would say. She tried all the heels, all the toes, all the, and she's really nerdy. Is that an English word? Okay, she's go really deep, and it's really honest about this works for me, this doesn't work, I don't like this heel. So if you are at all interested in knitting socks, Earth Tones Girl, I will link it here. She has an amazing channel, and she's such an inspirational woman, and her energy and happiness is it's a really nice channel, so we should link it here.
Definitely.
And then she also suggests all the patterns, all the resources and everything. So I think that's maybe my best recommendation, because I'm just a whimsical knitter. I forget so many things, and I just knit something, and so. But she's check her out if you'd like to have sock inspiration.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Anything else you have been knitting?
No, that was it.
Wow, that's not a lot. What's
No.
next on the needles then, do you know?
Now the other day I got a lot of boxes of my new yarn base.
Tell me more.
I have been waiting several months for it's spun on an Italian mill. It's many of you now have started to knit in Merlin, which is Merlin singles, which is a merino linen singles, like fingering yarn.
Yep.
And I have been wanting it a thicker version as well, so I decided to spin it up. And you have to spin up a lot of yarn.
And when we say a lot, we mean a lot.
Yes. This also means I really hope that you will like this yarn as much as I do. Otherwise, I think I will have to be like 2,000 years old to be able to knit it up all myself.
Yeah.
It's anyway a beautiful base, and it is Merlin worsted is the name for this. So it is also 90% merino and 10% linen. And it's a worsted, it's 180 meters. And I know there are a lot of patterns in this thickness and things to find, like shawls and colorwork yokes and everything. And it's really soft, and the linen gives such personality to the yarn, I think. So I got some samples before they spun up it for me that I have dyed. I think I've showed you this before, but I don't know if you can see the linen. It doesn't focus so good today, I think, the camera. I don't know, anyway, if you can see the linen content. It's like the yarn gets a little hairy, it sticks out some linen fibers here and there. And the thing is that you dye, when you dye with acid dyes or like woolen dyes that I do, plant-based fibers they reject the color. So the linen fibers are always undyed, which gives a beautiful mold effect to the yarn. Makes it really alive. And this is how the skeins look undyed. So it's a 2-ply yarn, and I think it is beautiful with this 2-ply, just like this that I knitted this in. It gives a really nice stitch definition, a little rough definition to a garment, I think. So I'm really excited to start dyeing on this.
Why is it called worsted and not DK?
Because it's a little thicker than DK. DK is somewhere more like 200, 250 meters.
Okay.
So, and worsted is even thicker than that. And it's almost to Aran, because when you come to Aran, it's kind of 150, 160 meters. So it would maybe match in between there. But the linen it gives a beautiful drape to the yarn, as well as it feels a little thinner. So I can imagine you can knit up this on a regular DK gauge as well, on a 4mm needle or something, but also use it like for a 5mm for more drape and things. But I knitted my swatches on a 4.5mm. That turns out really great. But 4 or 5 would also work for it, depending on what the pattern suggests. So you can always try this out.
And speaking about gauge.
Yeah, radio transition.
Yeah. Why do you not put your recommendations as to which size they would use?
Yeah. I actually get some emails from time to time about me not writing out the recommended needle size to my yarns. And
I've been wondering as well.
Yeah, you have.
Why is that?
You never know what shoes. Yeah, because the thing is that a sock yarn, for example, merino sock, I knit that. Many people knit it on a 2mm needle, which can give you like 30 stitches on 10 centimeters or something.
Yep. You
can also knit that and it gets a beautiful garment on a 3.5mm needle, and maybe then you get like 25-26 stitches on 10 centimeters. And also, if I would recommend 3.5mm needles, you might be hard knitter, so to say, or knit very loosely, which will give you maybe 22 or maybe 28 stitches on 10 centimeters. And maybe you want a shawl and you knit it on 4mm needles, because a shawl you would like some more draping, you would like the material to be a little more flowy for a shawl. You don't want a shawl that just stands by itself or something.
Yeah.
This means that maybe you could knit like 25 swatches, or I could and recommend for everything, but that's I think it's really important to get to learn how you knit, and it's really, I think it's difficult for me. Do you want to knit a sock on 2mm or a shawl or a garment? And then what I should recommend. I think it's much easier to look at a pattern and see maybe somehow how many meters on 100 grams is this yarn, and what if they recommend a needle or something, maybe you should try out the yarn that you will work with and see what you need to be happy with the material or the gauge that you get, because you need to swatch and you think, oh, I think it looks a little too loose, and maybe you have to go down a needle size.
So this sounds even to me pretty logical.
Yeah.
Why is not everybody thinking like
because
this?
it's a really, I think it's a really has a lot of to do with traditions. Like in Sweden, we don't put names like fingering and DK weight on the yarns.
Okay.
It's not like that. I think many times you have put labels on as gauge.
Mm.
So this is a yarn, 24 stitches on, they don't say DK maybe,
No.
or a sport weight or something. So that's different cultures in different countries, how you use labels on. I think Norway and Denmark and things as well doesn't actually, maybe now because a lot of things is in English, but otherwise I don't think they have like the DK and fingering and 4-ply. 4-ply is also fingering.
Okay.
4-ply can be
for sure.
4 threads, but it can also be the weight of the yarn. And that's also different if it's from the America or from England. You can call it worsted / Aran, depending on which country you're in. So this is really, yeah, I like, when I choose a yarn, I like to try it out, knit a little swatch, see how it looks like, what needle size do I think would be best for this. Maybe then you can look for a pattern that recommends this needle size or a special gauge or something. So that's just how I do, and I don't want to recommend 3.5 and then somebody writes to me, well, I got 3 stitches less than this that you recommended, because maybe you knit too hard or too loose, and then it just turns out wrong. So I think it's good to read about gauge and different ways to resize a garment if you knit looser or harder, or switch needle up or down and things like that. So yeah.
Makes sense.
And since I have been knitting a lot, I always almost know that this yarn, I think I would like a 4.5mm to that one. And then otherwise, if I don't like it, I just take another needle, and that's not a problem. I want to lose a gauge or a tighter gauge, and then I just switch the needle.
Okay. Thank you for your good answer, Petra.
Thank you.
When will you start dyeing on these new yarns then?
I will make a little secret dip into the dyepots this week, I think, because I have saved a few projects on Ravelry that I would like to knit up. I think it's important when you bring in a new base. I think many people want to see how it looks knit up and what you can use it for, what patterns that would be great in it and things like that. So I've saved some shawls, worsted weight shawls that I think is really gorgeous, and some collar yoke sweaters and things like that I would like to try it out and show. But I soon will. I have this week that will come now, I will dye up the Merlin singles, because a designer, Sara Blackbird Knits here in Sweden, releases the English version of her Anna T, and many people have been asking for that base again, so I will dye that up this week, and then I might be starting out with this one along with. But there I have so much yarn now that
I know.
oh, I would need 4 more arms, 5 hours a day more, and there are so much things. They're just lying in my yarn room in there. Petra, come and dye us, come and dye. And I get a little stressed because I wish I was an octopus.
Yeah. At least I will warm up my skein arm.
Yes, please.
And then you don't have to think about that.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. What more? Maybe some magazines.
Yes.
Because you are turning into a bookstore.
Yeah. Well, I'm not actually, but there are some magazines that I'm really fond of, and that maybe some customers ask for from time to time. So I decided just to bring in a very limited amount of books and magazines. Just a few favorites, so to say.
Yep.
So what's coming in now, and that's in the web shop already, that's a pre-order for the line 52 Weeks of Shawls, which is a beautiful book. I also sold the 52 Weeks of Socks. So I'm bringing in this now, and you has ordered it. You pay in advance, and then when I get it the 30th of April, I will send it after that, because that's the book release day, so I cannot send any books out before that. So it's a pay in advance, a pre-book, and then I send it out when it arrives here. I also got this Friday, I decided I really wanted to sell this one. It is Making Stories, and this is a beautiful magazine, I think. It is a magazine. There's no commercial stuff in this one.
Okay.
It's just stories, and it's beautiful patterns, and there might be, you know, a designer, a little, what do you say? A story about the designer, article about that.
So there's not only patterns in there, there's also a lot of content.
Yeah, it's a content. I don't know in this one, I just have to see, because I have not read all of them. I think this, or maybe it's only designs actually now, when you say it like that. Oh, I love this shawl. That's beautiful. And also I love this paper, because they have been taking this inclusivity, I can't speak English, seriously.
Yeah.
They make the most beautiful magazines. They show so many beautiful models in all sizes and shapes and colors and everything, and they does it so beautiful, I think. It's not only these skinny white people, it's black people, it's large people, it's small people, it's redheads, it's blackheads, it's blonde head. You know, I love that.
Yeah, it's good.
So I really wanted to bring that in.
And this is already for sale then?
No, I got it on Friday, so I haven't had time to put it in the web shop. It will be this week. Yeah, really beautiful patterns. It's only patterns, I think.
It is.
Yeah. So I'm happy about being able to have some magazines and books. Line is also doing a great job, I think. And I'm thinking of bringing in their magazine as well. I would love maybe Pom Pom. I have not contacted them yet, but of course there's so many beautiful books and things. So
you see, that's what I'm saying. You will become a bookstore. Now you already said like 4 or 5.
I think the most difficult thing about this is when I have this with these soft, what do you call these?
Don't know.
Well, anyway, like a magazine like this, and you also order yarns and maybe some knitting accessories or things. I think it is a little difficult how I should package it to get. Of course, you don't want it to have been folded or something. That I think is maybe the hardest part with the books. Maybe you know how to do. Maybe you know some good stuff about this, but. I really have been buying different book boxes and in different sizes. If you buy like this and 2 skeins, then I would need that one. And if you buy this and just... So I bought a lot of package material to be able to sell it.
Yeah.
The easiest way is of course always if you buy one and then I just put it in a book box. So, but I think that's always the most difficult part, to package and do a good package for you when selling it out, so it will look good. Yeah. Anyway, I'm happy about them.
That's good. Anything more you want to show?
Not for the shop. However, I really would like to. Yeah. Okay. Maybe the yarn I said as well.
I don't know.
Yes, I said.
I just asked the questions.
I just wanted to show because I'm really happy about the colorways that I dyed on BFL Gotland, if you could say it.
You're
yourself.
bragging now. That's okay. You should be happy. You are very talented,
No, but
and you know it.
yeah. Anyway, I think it. I think it turned out a really beautiful palette for color work, or and maybe a lot of beautiful colorways just for maybe like doing this. And so I just wanted to show because they will be in the shop now. So there are a lot of, I have dyed it so like there will be, you know, good to work together in a chart or in a yoke or something. So like the dark and the light ones of a color, and like the green ones, so that you can mix them with some contrast. And the blue ones. Yes, I've tried to make a good mix of colorways that you could use for a colorwork sweater or something. So I'm really happy about them, actually. And there's also the natural grey, because this base is grey, so all the colorways gets kind of muted or something like that, which I think is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Really soft. They turn out really soft, the colors. So yeah, I'm happy with them. So what I really would like us to show now is something that I picked up on the post office this Friday.
Shouldn't we pause that? Because we have some questions, you know.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Because I think when we show that, we will open a door to Shangri-La, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
beer lovers.
True. Yeah, so we got just a few questions.
Yeah, we asked for some questions, and we got some questions. So that was good. Yeah. I think you've answered a couple of them actually already.
Okay. Maybe we answered all of them.
No, maybe we didn't.
Okay.
So for instance, let's see here. This one you answered from Henrietta Stålbrandt about patterns for mini skeins.
Okay.
That you've already said.
Yes. Correct.
And then we had this one. This is from Jane Hosking. And she is asking us what. This is a little bit of a tricky question, actually. Little curveball, as you usually say.
Okay.
What is your favorite characteristic of Robert?
Yeah.
I will lean back and enjoy the show.
This is really funny because many times you are much better answering question about your most unlike characteristics.
What?
It's much easier sometimes to ask about characteristics that you don't find good. You understand? Anyway, what I really like, one of your characteristics is that you are really chill about, you don't get stressed out or kind of overwhelmed with things.
Okay.
I very easily get overwhelmed and stressed. I think, oh my God, we have to do all these things today, and oh, we have to do, and you never jump on that train. You just, well, if we just do like this, and have you thought about that this maybe only takes 5 minutes, and have you thought about, and you never get annoyed or irritated or stressed out about things like that. That's a really favorite thing about you that I have.
Sometimes you think that's annoying too.
Yes, yes. But I really appreciate it, because if you were the same, it would have been really rough, I think. Okay. So that's one characteristic that I really, really like, and that's also that you are a really positive person. You never walk around being negative and just things that doesn't matter. You never give any time to those things. You're a positive person, and give that energy, I think.
Thank you.
I think that's maybe my two of my favorite characteristics of you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, and then I guess I should answer the same question then. For you, you have many positive characteristics, Petra, my wife. One of them is also a little bit similar to what you said. I think that you are, it's very clear that you are a very kind-hearted person, and you really care about things. You care about your family, you care about the society, you care about injustices in the world, and all those things that also you mentioned a little bit before. And this, I think, is a very, very good characteristic, that you are not one of those people who just think things, but then like, why should I get engaged in this? It doesn't matter anyway. You really try, and I think that is impressive and commendable, I must say.
Thank you.
Yeah. And another very good characteristic that you have is a side of yourself that you don't show it all the time.
Okay.
But sometimes you do, and it is when you really, I don't know, if you relax or if you just find the space in your own mind or whatever, but sometimes you can sit to talk to me about really your thoughts about things, your inner feelings about things, and I have learned a lot from those moments, I must say. It doesn't, like I say, it's not something we do all the time, but it feels like when you do that, when you are in that mode, it's for me a little bit of an education. I learn about you, I learn about perspectives on things that I have not had myself, maybe. And I've learned so much from you in the years that we've been together, and I'm very appreciative about that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So those were a couple of good characteristics. I'm really happy she didn't then, to what you said before, that she didn't ask what you are not so impressed about. Because then I guess we would have a long podcast.
No, no, we wouldn't.
Okay. And then a question from Timeless Memory. Hi, love how do you do your heel? It looks different.
Okay, but then I think I mentioned that now. Check out Into the Forest by Melody Hoffman. I think I can almost certainly say that the heel comes from her. It's just some heel that got stuck in my head, and I can remember it. I'm a lousy person remembering things in my head. It's like, if I listen to a song 1,000,000 times, I still don't know the lyrics. It's hopeless. No, okay, this is embarrassing, but we actually had a quiz yesterday, me and Robert.
I was thinking about that.
It's like, that's also, I'm very impressed of you, because if we play a game, when you should know stuff. Robert, it's like playing with Wikipedia. it's really, really, really annoying. Of course, also very impressive. But to me, that's kind of the opposite. It's like an empty Wikipedia. I'm just, how can you know this? How do you know where and when did you learn this? It sounds crazy to know that in my head. And then you like to have these quizzes with me, and it's only me, and I should just answer all the questions.
Oh.
Sorry. We pause. So a daughter just called. Anyway, and yesterday it was all the music quizzes. I'm kind of good at some music.
You are.
Actually.
You're very good at music.
I'm really interested in music, but I'm interested in other stuff as well. But it's like I have no space left for any knowledge. So you asked me about there's like 45 countries in Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know actually if I want to say how many of those capitals that I knew. Anyway, Robert said, how many do you think you will know of these 45? 12?
But you knew a lot more than that. You had
Yeah,
more than
but-
half.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, and you know, there are you know almost all the capitals in the whole world, which is crazy. There are cities that I have never heard this word. Is it a city? And also the capitals in Europe now as well, in some of the countries, I have never heard of this city. And it's like so embarrassing. But
But you
it's
seemed
like-
very fond of Vienna. That came up.
yeah,
a
I
lot.
said it a lot. No, it was just fun because I didn't know. But no, I think my head is so full of just randomly thoughts that there's nothing. And I said to you, if you ask all this now again, like 10 minutes after, I wouldn't remind just any extra than I could before. It's like it doesn't get stuck in there.
But I think that the difference between us is that I know a little about many things. And you
Yeah.
don't, but you know a lot about few things. So if you say that I have a Wikipedia, it's like maybe I have a Wikipedia with a lot of articles, but it's like 2 rows on each article.
Yeah.
And in your Wikipedia, there's a lot less, but there's like a book on every article.
Yeah, and I think also because you listen to a lot of podcasts, you're like a mushroom with. I mean, you know, you listen to historical things, technology things, all these stuff, and you could almost, and sometimes you do. You want to describe what you listen to, and you describe it almost as long as a podcast thing was, I think.
Now we are still on the good, positive sides now.
Yeah, but it's also fun. I also appreciate it. Sometimes I'm just, is this never gonna end? But I think you could say the entire podcast episode, just every detail.
Probably.
But I also listen to podcasts. I listen to relationship podcasts. How to do with your children, how to think about, things like that. And that's just like, I listen to a lot of these, I have listened to a lot of these podcasts about, could we say gender or something, men and women. It's a lot of stuff going on in Sweden now with this, and this is something I'm really. I almost hit you the other night because I was so angry with men. Anyway, but I bring all the sensitive, emotional things into me. That has nothing to do with knowledge, just like the emotional things. I don't know. You, of course, listen to that as well, or know a lot about this stuff as well, so I don't mean that there's a difference.
No.
But you also has this, I'm just like a mushroom with these emotional things. So, yeah.
But I think this is also probably, this is one of the things that I like about you, that I wouldn't want to be married to myself, you know.
No.
No, but we are different.
Yeah.
We are also similar in many ways, but we are also different, really different in some ways, and that's for me also great, because then, like I said before, I'm learning a lot from you. I'm learning that maybe the way I look at things is not the only way to look at that. Maybe there's another way, and maybe the other way is actually maybe better or different or okay as well.
Yeah.
And that is healthy, I think.
Yeah, of course. And we all are really difficult, different. But
Freudian slip.
yeah. Difficult is also actually true, I think.
Yeah.
I know I'm a very difficult person, but yeah. Well, so yeah, we're difficult, both of us.
Okay.
Like you pause and then it comes something else. Anyway, okay. Shall we go on with something else?
Yeah. We have a couple of more questions. One is from Tony Larry in England, I think. And Tony wants to know, what does our shop now look like? You know, we've been fixing with the shop space, and what does it look like?
Yeah, it looks good. No, Tony, yeah, I think we should have to just make a little film about that. Or maybe we can clip it in.
Exactly. So now you need to speak about it as if it's coming. So please make it natural.
Okay. So anyway, the office is kind of done. I have not done that much of a time on that because I'm packaging all the parcels and things like that. But then there's I love the space where it's supposed to be like classes, workshops, knit nights and things like that. So
now I don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah, okay.
I said you should say like now this will be coming.
Ah!
You don't need to say it because you will say it in the film.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah. So
shall we just okay. So here comes a little clip. Ta-da! Okay, so this is the office space. I don't think maybe it's that different from last time we showed you, but it's really practical because I have a lot of space to package up the orders and to I always make this one here, putting one order in one box, which actually is a new thing that I do. So I package up each order in a box, drive this out to the shop and then fill them up and then go in here, package them and then back again and doing the same thing until it's done. Then here is, I think maybe, I don't know what we did since last time, but we put up a wallpaper. We bought some couches and a sofa, and I put my magazines and things there, and I brought in all the plants. And I also showed you some pictures that I bought on Etsy, and I bought some frames for them as well, so I put them up. I still need some chairs left, so we can be many when we have knitting nights or something, when you can be a lot of people, of course. So the kitchen, and I put up a few of my knitting books here, and here are the beautiful pictures that I bought on Etsy. And this is, I love this room because it comes in so much light through these big old windows, so it's a really beautiful view over here, I think, if you just film it like that. And Loke is of course really beautiful as well. Loke? Yeah. And so for the shop I still need a little more light because this room he wants a hug. This room is to the north side, so the natural light is really bad in here. So I think we need a few more spotlights, and maybe I would like the logo over there or something on the wall, and maybe some pictures or something over here, or some more shells. But it has become really nice, I think. I put up all my coconut products in boxes, and I have space for all the yarns to be put in right places. at the moment it's a little empty again, but it's a really good place. I will go to IKEA and buy some big like hemp carpets or something, and also a better like disc. Do you say disc?
Yeah.
Like this one, but low, so you can have things on them as well as inside here. So since I brought in the mohair and things like that, that needs some space as well. So a little things to do left yet, but it starts to get. Since I just run a web shop now, it's really good for packaging and things. I know where all the things is and everything, but I just have the last finish. And then I think it will be like a real shop, maybe.
And we're back. Hope you enjoyed it. There's one last question actually. And it's from Maria. And the question is, I have to look at it. Let's see here. The question is, is it true that you know the lyrics to Ice Ice Baby?
Oh my god, you made that up.
No, it's from the YouTube.
Okay. Yes, it's true.
Wow. Shall we try it? Boom 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 boom.
No.
Boom 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 boom. Boom 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 boom.
Are you with me then?
Boom 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 boom.
Alright, stop. Colorway and listen. Ice is back with my brand new edition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, fall like a harpoon daily and nightly. When I them stop, yo, I don't know. Turn up and I glow to the extreme. I rock a mic like a candle out of the stage and watch it.
Boom! Wow, that's impressive.
Okay, I missed the word there.
Yeah, that was
anyway,
really good.
okay.
So now you know.
Okay, so this might be the longest. What would I say?
I don't know.
Okay, the only lyrics I can.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
something I would like to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for that question.
Okay, that was all the questions. Now we can go to the thing that you wanted to say.
Okay, yes. So, my god, this is crazy episode now.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, and I'm so happy.
you're still wearing
Something
the
cold
tulip.
is coming up soon.
You still
Anyway,
got the tulip on.
the thing is, this Friday, I got a notification to bring out a parcel from the post office.
Yes.
And I did, and I thought maybe it's something, I don't know, what have I bought? What have I bought now? What is this stuff in here? But you know, I order a lot of stuff, so I must have forgot this one. And then when I opened it, I really got tears in my eyes, I must say, because it was the sweetest parcel ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little parcel for me and Robert, and it says, "Dear Petra, dear Robert," and a beautiful note card for us, just saying thank you for the podcast and cheering her up and things like that. And yeah, it was so sweet. So we really just want to kind of unbox this now.
Okay.
But I don't think we should show the note and things, because
No.
that might be something.
That is personal.
Yeah.
That is between us
Yes.
and her.
So I thought, of course, I have ordered something, knitting
Yeah.
things maybe. And anyway, so first comes this beautiful card with some text down here. So, and it was really, it was so nice. It's, I don't know, it's, you know, we record this, we don't have that many followers or something, and sometimes we just, it feels like, I think maybe we are the two people who enjoy this the most.
Yeah. You know, I am all our subscribers. I just have many different accounts in YouTube.
Yeah, and you think, you know, just, oh, maybe...
Except for this one. This is not for me.
Maybe this isn't that good, and we just talk rambling about pointless stuff and things. But then something like this comes and just, oh, okay, I don't mind if only this person looks, because it's worth it.
Yes.
So we got this beautiful card then, as I showed, and this one, a magnet, was inside.
Which is true, by the way. It is cheaper than therapy.
Yes. And this woman, I don't know if we should say the name. I don't know if you think it might be personal or...
You can just say it's a woman in Austria.
Yeah, it's a woman in Austria.
There are many women in Austria. We know.
I think I know who this is, but the name is a little unclear, so I have two names in mind. And I have been searching through Instagram like a crazy person and among the comments and things, and I think I know who you are, but I would love if you just approved that it was you on Instagram or something. Because I just wanted to write and say thank you, and I just couldn't find the right account on Instagram.
No.
Anyway, I really tried yesterday. I don't know if... Anyway, never mind. Anyway, this... And she had sent some chocolate for us. Wow! We love chocolate.
Uh-huh.
And she had sent...
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
And they're actually gold, because I wanted to unbox it here, but we had them in the fridge this night.
Yeah.
And we just want to say thank you. It's not that you have to send packages for us. Of course we're not. But this is just so sweet and heartwarming, and I don't know. It's really, I have no words. It's so sweet. You're taking the time to send this to us, and of course this will have the head huvud.
The main... That's what you should say.
The main character of this podcast.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is so appreciated. We are appreciated. I can almost not speak, but yeah.
No. And you know, it's things like this. We talked about before that we live in a quite difficult world, and there's a lot of shit happening all around. Things like this is also what shows that there are also the opposite happening.
Yeah.
And it's exactly things like this that
Yeah.
makes us all, I think, feel that there's actually a lot of good things in this world too.
And all of you who watches this and write all the beautiful, lovingly comments is just the same. It's just so also heartwarming, and there are so many beautiful people out there.
Definitely.
And we are so grateful that you, whatever you write, you're always so welcoming and kind and everything, and that is really beautiful. So with all the hard stuff going on in the world, we just want... We also remember there are so many of you beautiful people out there that brights up a person's day.
Yes. Thank you all.
Thank you.
That.
So
let's cut to the chase.
yes,
You have two different
I have
types
two.
of beer can. So you need to choose, but I think you should choose the right one.
I think I really would like to try this basketball
Yes.
man.
That's the right one.
So this one, of course, I think we will save it to next time.
Yeah.
Or
Why not?
next time. We will say,
It will
maybe we will drink it
Yeah,
tonight.
It could be that.
Okay.
Let's not promise anything.
No, but this one... Okay, now
Yeah.
I leave over to Robert,
Wow.
because this is Robert's... Now you can talk all the time instead
Thank you.
of me.
Thank you. Okay, so today we are going. We thought we would be going to Denmark, but we're not.
No.
Instead, we are going to Austria. have you been to Austria?
Okay, sorry, I just... no, yes, I have actually.
Yes, you
a
have.
few times.
What can you say about Austria?
Okay, as I said before, I'm not that I don't want to say anything really with numbers or names or something, but it's a beautiful country. I've been there hiking.
Yes.
And also biking in the mountains. And we went there living in the mountains when we did our Europe tour last summer. The houses are like from illustrations from a book or something. You know, they are always flowers around the houses. They lie there in the mountains, looking really romantic, and also really like these cultural houses, or what can you say? And the mountains, sometimes with snow on the tops and things. It's a really beautiful country. We said when we drove there, it's such a clean country. I really think so. It's really clean. It's like there are people, you know, I really, maybe hate is strong word, but I say that I hate people. They drive car. They have been eating a Big Mac and company thing, and then just open the window and just think, well, where should I put this garbage? Well, I think it's a really good idea. Opening the window in my car, just throw it out in the nature. It's like, I don't know what is going. I don't think they have a mind. I hope we don't. I hate that. It's so annoying. Who do they think should go and pick up that afterwards? Or should it just lie there? Okay, well, never mind about that. Anyway, in Austria it was clean. Maybe you people are just nice. Don't throw out McDonald's things in the nature. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we like Austria.
Yes, we do. Yes, and you almost think you know what they say.
Yes.
Because they speak all kind of German.
Kind of German, yeah.
It's like listening to Danish.
Yes. But Danish, yeah.
You think you know what they say, but you don't know what they say.
No, and actually we read some Austrian this morning because I needed to find out, okay, who made this beer. And the homepage of the brewery was in Austrian.
Yeah.
However, I think I got the gist of it.
Wir kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen.
Jawohl.
Ich habe in Köln gearbeitet als ein Au-pair. Okay, das war das.
Yeah. And the brewery is called Grabers. I don't know how to pronounce it. Grabers Brewery, Austria. And they are situated in a little place called Bregenz, which is a city on the eastern side of the Bodensee. I have not been there myself, but I read on Wikipedia that they have around 30,000 people. And the story goes that the brewery was started by two brothers, and the two brothers were on a party, a beer party.
Yeah.
And they came up with the idea that they should start a brewery. And then they had a book about brewing, which they read, not entirely sober, they pointed out. And then they tried to make some beer, but it didn't go that well, but they kept at it, and all of a sudden they won an award in a competition for like small breweries that could compete. And according to the homepage, they have been winning a lot of awards since then, so it seems like they know what they're doing, actually. So, the beer is called Giant Paul, which I think is a cool name for a beer. Let's see if we can see. It's this big basketball player, which I'm assuming now is Paul. And I don't know anything more about it, so it's like opening a Christmas gift to me.
It looks a little bit, you see, it's a little white.
Yeah.
It's like mjöd, no?
Yeah, maybe. Almost like a Weissbier. Let's see how it tastes. So the Giant Paul, it looks almost like it's unfiltered.
Didn't we drink something like unfiltered yesterday?
We sure did. We sure did. So look at this color. There we go.
It's almost like apple juice or something.
Yes.
It looks like the apple juice we drank this morning.
Yeah, it actually was. No, it wasn't. It smells good. Smell it.
Yes. It smells really good.
Please describe, what are you thinking about when you smell the giant pole from Grebens?
I think about my mouth is watering.
That's a good sign. If I am now sitting on the other side, it's always pineapple. I think it's Corona that turned all your smell into pineapple.
Yes, because it's not yet perfect. And pineapple is the only thing I can smell.
Okay. So now I need to taste it.
Okay. I think I'm maybe will go to a workshop where they can learn me a few more words.
Then pineapple? Take one more.
I really like it. It's really good.
Okay. Can I taste?
Smells like these small brewery beers that really made an effort to the beer, so to say.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And it almost paralyzes your tongue for a couple of seconds. Try that.
It's like snake poison.
I had a fruit once or something in China, and it actually paralyzed your tongue. It
Okay.
was a super strange feeling. But that was the intention.
I really like this.
Yeah, so did I. I wonder why it's called Giant Paul. Maybe that's some kind of a local basketball
That we did
hero.
not understand.
No, that we don't know.
No, I really liked it.
Yeah?
It's a little against the malt. I don't know. Well,
It's good.
Okay, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
So do you want to grade it?
Yes, I would like to grade it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So give me some material. Thank you. So Petra, lovely wife, life partner, and wisdom source. How many plies would you give the giant pole from Grabers, the brothers in the Austrian city of Bregenz? How many plies?
I give it 3 plies.
Ooh, we're still on the 3. This is not for amateurs.
No, I like this. The thing is with beer is that I like when it's this much taste. It's not a beer that you like drink 8 in a row. You want 1 or 2 and you want the good stuff.
True.
And that's what I like.
Yes.
I think I have never drinking 8 beers in a row, but I like this when it's a lot of taste and things. Then you can drink water after that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, how many plies do you give the giant pole?
Since I just feel the love for this beer, I will give it 5.
What?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes.
The brothers are crying of joy in their little mountain city,
We are.
running around with their beer clothes on.
Can you say any word of how it smells then?
I think it smells a little exquisite with a touch of oakish barley on a winter day. I think it smells like pineapple actually. It smells beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for the lovely gift. It warms our heart, as we said
Yes.
before. And the 2 brothers, if you're watching, you need to keep up doing what you're doing. You need to come to Sweden. You need to give me a call before you fly out from Austria and say when you will be landing in Gothenburg. I will take my minibus and drive to Landvetter Airport I will pick you up. We will drive back to Eksjö, where I have prepared a room with 2 beds or 2 mattresses that you can sleep for 3 days. We will have barbecues, we will go into nature, we will take a swim, and we will bond.
Okay.
Please.
That was a little creepy.
No, it's
Okay.
bond like friends.
I would much more appreciate when we can travel there.
Okay. So forget
They
what I
can
said.
come to us as well.
Stay where you are, and we will come
We
to
will
you.
come to you.
And then you pick us up, drive. Yeah. So we do everything I said, but the other way
Yeah,
around.
I really would like to go on a little tour.
So would I. So would I.
Oh, looking on a different view than Eksjö.
Soon.
Soon.
Soon, my love.
We will just get our shots soon.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Couple of more months and then we're good to go.
I hope so.
Hopefully. Okay, that was all for the beer part this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robert. And thank you. Okay. I think maybe we just have nothing more essential to share
No,
today.
absolutely not.
So, happy knitting, all of you. Hope you have something fun to knit on. I hope you have a lovely week, lovely spring, and be good to each other. Spread some love.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you soon. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here